sometimes in football, hope comes from the most unexpected places. And for Nigerian fans watching the 2026 World Cup qualifiers slip away, that hope just arrived in the form of 3 points, but not from a victory. Welcome to RNN TV. I am Esther Olateju. Sit down and enjoy the gist. FIFA has just dropped a bombshell decision that is shaking up African qualifying. South Africa has been handed a 3-point deduction and a forfeit loss. And suddenly, the Super Eagles can see a path to the World Cup again. But here's the real question. Is this truly a lifeline or just false hope? Stay with me as we break down what actually happened, what it means for Nigeria, and whether the Eagles can actually pull off what now seems possible. So, what exactly did South Africa do to lose 3 precious points? It all goes back to a match in March 2025. South Africa faced Lesotho in what seems like a routine qualifier. Bafana won 2-0. The points were banked. Everyone moved on, except someone noticed something. Teboho Mokoena, who played in that match, shouldn't have been on the pitch. He was suspended but somehow still featured for South Africa. Now, this might sound like a small administrative error, but FIFA takes this rule seriously. Article 19 of the disciplinary code is crystal clear. Field an ineligible player and you forfeit the match 3-0 to your opponent. The FIFA disciplinary committee reviewed the case and made their ruling. That 2-0 victory for South Africa wiped out. Instead, it's now recorded as a 3-0 loss. Lesotho gets awarded the win and South Africa drops from 17 points down to 14. South Africa's Football Association has rejected the decision and is considering an appeal. They have 10 days to challenge it. But as of right now, those points are gone. Let's look at what Group C looks like now. At the top, you have Benin Republic with 14 points and a +4 goal difference. They've quietly been solid throughout qualifying and now they're sitting pretty as group leaders. Right behind them is South Africa, also on 14 points but with a slightly weaker goal difference at +3. They went from comfortable leaders to suddenly looking over their shoulders. Then we have Nigeria and Rwanda, both locked on 11 points. The Super Eagles are now just 3 points away from the top 2. And even Lesotho has climbed to 9 points after being awarded that victory. Here's what makes this fascinating. Only one team from each group qualifies directly for the 2026 World Cup. 1 spot. 5 teams still mathematically in contention, and 2 matches remaining. For Nigeria, the math is actually straightforward. Win both remaining games and you will finish on 17 points. If South Africa or Benin drops points in their final matches, Nigeria could top the group, but here's where it gets tight. Goal difference will likely be the deciding factor. Nigeria needs to not just win, but win convincingly. So, let's talk about these final 2 matches that will determine Nigeria's fate. First up, October 10th, Nigeria travels to Lesotho. On paper, they should be winnable. Lesotho sits 5th in the group with 9 points. They've been competitive but haven't been dominant. This is a must-win game. Not just a win, but ideally a comfortable margin to boost that goal difference. The Super Eagles need to come out aggressive and put this one to bed early. Then comes the real test, October 14th. Nigeria hosts Benin Republic at home. This is the group leader. This is the team that has been the surprise package of qualifying. And this is where Nigeria's World Cup hopes will likely be decided. Beats Benin at home, and Nigeria controls their destiny. The atmosphere will be electric. The pressure will be immense. But these are the moments that define tournaments. Victor Osimhen has been Nigeria's key player in these qualifiers, already scoring 5 goals. The Napoli striker will need to deliver again. Wilfred Ndidi will need to dominate the midfield, and the entire team will need to show the kind of quality we know they're capable of. Now let's be real about the situation. Some Nigerian football observers have called this medicine after death. Former Super Eagles player Mutiu Adepoju said the deduction offers little advantage because Nigeria still has to win their remaining matches regardless. And he's not wrong. This isn't a free pass to the World Cup. South Africa's deduction doesn't change the fundamental challenge. Nigeria must win both games. But here's what it does change. It transforms this from nearly impossible to genuinely achievable. Before this ruling, Nigeria would have needed both wins and needed South Africa to drop points and needed to overcome a significant goal difference gap. Now, win 2 games and you're likely through. That is pressure, but it's simple pressure. It's the kind of scenario where talent and determination can actually make the difference. South Africa still has to face Zimbabwe away and Rwanda at home. Both are tricky fixtures. Benin has to go to Rwanda and then face Nigeria. These are not guaranteed wins for the top 2 teams. Nigeria has been to every World Cup since 1994 except one. That is a legacy. That is a standard. And that is what is on the line here. So, where does this leave us? FIFA's decision has thrown Group C wide open. What looked like a comfortable race for South Africa has turned into a 4-way battle with everything to play for. For Nigeria, this is an opportunity. Not a guarantee, but an opportunity. The kind that doesn't come around often in World Cup qualifying. October 10th and 14th will define this team's legacy. 2 matches, 6 points needed. 1 World Cup spot available. The Super Eagles have the talent. Victor Osimhen is in the form of his life. The squad has experience. And now, they have a genuine chance. But chances mean nothing without execution. South Africa could appeal and potentially get those points back, though that seems unlikely given the clear rule violation. Even if they do appeal, it won't be resolved before the final matches. So, Nigeria has to play as if these standings are final. Benin Republic hasn't gotten this far by accident. They will be ready for Nigeria's challenge. And Rwanda, they're sitting on the same points as Nigeria and could spoil everyone's party if they catch fire. This is why we love football. One FIFA ruling, and suddenly everything changes. Drama, controversy, and genuine hope all wrapped together. Will Nigeria grab this opportunity? Can the Super Eagles soar when it matters most? We will find out in October. What do you think? Is this Nigeria's moment, or will the pressure be too much? Drop your predictions in the comments. And if you want to follow how this incredible qualifying race plays out, subscribe and hit that notification bell. We will be covering every twist and turn. For now, the Super Eagles have their eyes on the prize, and Nigerian fans, they're believing again. Thanks for watching RNN TV.